Good grief. Why do they never go in for me?
Hi everyone, back again. Yes, I'm here again with a vinyl watch. Yes, I'm with a vinyl watch. I thought I'd better cover some of the records that I actually got during quarantine. Now that we're kind of out of quarantine, we're out the other side, I bought a load of records online that I've been listening to and I haven't talked about yet. And I thought, seeing as I'm so behind with everything else, I might as well try and get up to date with these. Right, so these were records I bought quite early on in the lockdown. Probably about 2 months ago, I reckon. I don't know, maybe 3 months. How long's it been going on for? Oh, this post-COVID world does my head in. Yeah, sometime. Okay, now the first one I got, I've been after this on vinyl for such a long time. I was so pleased that I won this on eBay. It's not the greatest shape condition of this, but it is. The vinyl's in pretty good nick, and it sounds lovely to listen to. So this is Plastic Ono Band. Now I'm recording this on a camera. I'm having a go on a digital camera that I got given. So I don't know if I'm holding things in shot or not. So you just have to bear with me. If it's all alright, then so what? It's all alright. I won't be using it again. Right, so this is obviously John Lennon and the Plastic Ono Band. This is one of my favourite albums. I've had it on CD for donkey's years, and it was absolutely brilliant to get a pretty old copy of this. As you can see, there's tape on it. It's a bit dog-eared, but this is a 1970 German press. And I checked the numbers and it works out, so I'm pretty sure that this is, and you can see the label there, Apple. This is a 1970 German press or European press, one of the two. But it sounds great, and I'm just stoked to have a copy on vinyl, so there we go. There's John Lennon and the Plastic Ono Band. Right, I also picked up a copy of this. So this is Traffic, and this is Shootout at the Fantasy Factory. This is actually the first Traffic album I've got. I've listened to them loads, but I don't actually, this is the first one I've ever owned, even on any other format, I think. Possibly. But yeah, it's got that die-cut album. This is a really good jammy record. It's a pretty jammy record. Not lucky as in jammy, but like long jams. I really enjoy listening to this. It was really good. I don't think it's rated as one of their best albums, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. With Jim Capaldi on it, obviously Steve Winwood, keyboard Kwaku Bar. So this has got Shoot Out the Fantasy Factory, Roll Right Stones, Evening Blue, Tragic Magic, Sometimes I Feel So Uninspired. I'm not going to get out the label because it's such a pain to put it back into this sleeve. But there we go, let's Shoot Out the Traffic Fantasy, at the Fantasy Factory, rather. This next one I picked up just because I saw it and I thought, oh, that was quite interesting. It was going pretty cheap. And you know what I'm like with cheap records. So this is Arthur Lewis featuring Eric Clapton, and this is Knocking on Heaven's Door. So this was an album that they recorded in 1975, I think. Arthur Lewis was born in Jamaica and then moved to America. I don't know how he hooked up with Clapton. Absolutely no idea. But this is a good mix of blues, bit of reggae, bit of funk. It's a really good album. Originally only released in Japan for some reason. It is the first reggae version of, as far as I'm aware, of Knocking on Heaven's Door. Arthur Lewis actually had the idea of doing a reggae cover of it, and it sounds blooming marvellous. Was copied, well, Eric Clapton, not copied, but Eric Clapton then did his own version of Knocking on Heaven's Door in a reggae style. And then there was a fallout between Arthur Lewis and Clapton and the record companies, and it was all turned quite nasty apparently. I think the story's online in a Rolling Stone interview that Clapton did. But this is a really good record. Really enjoyed listening to this. I think this is the 81 reissue of it. No, 94 reissue. Well, there you go. That's a 90s reissue on Discovery Sounds. So there we go. So splendid. It's a really good album. It's a really good listen. I really do recommend take a listen to this. I think he released another album he released a second album and then released a third album off the back of the re-release of this, because it sort of heightened his profile again. And so there we go. That's a really good record. I also picked up a copy of, now I think is this a second album? Probably got that wrong. So Bebop Deluxe with Modern Music. I like this band. I really like this band. I think this is a third of their albums I've got now. Bill Nelson, he made some bloody good records, didn't he? I really like Bebop Deluxe. They just did some interesting stuff. They were kind of a bit proggy, but not in a ridiculously silly way. I'm not into prog at all. The more I hear of prog, the less I get interested in it. I really am unenamoured of it. But this is good. It's got an edge to it. It's kind of more on the Brian Eno side of prog rather than the Yes side of prog, which I know there's fans and fans and fans of Yes on YouTube, but I don't know, I just can't get into them. Anyway, so on Harvest label, that's a lovely label. I do like the Harvest label. Really interesting listen, as per usual. Really good stuff. Thoroughly enjoyed it. That one goes back in there. Right, I do hope I'm getting these pictures right. Right, next up, we've got The Searchers with, I think it's a self-titled album called The Searchers. Now, obviously everybody knows The Searchers is a Liverpool band, Merseybeat band. But I think this is about 1980. Was this 1980? 79-80. They had a bit of a resurgence. They somehow got signed to Sire, and they released a couple of really good power pop records. They're kind of like guitar-y pop, basically power pop records. And I think John, 6-inch pianist John, showed this album with a different cover. It's got kind of almost like a flying saucer type, looking like a bit like a V-shaped guitar. I'm not sure, but I think this is the South African version. This is a South African cover. I think that's quite a good shot of the band, to be honest. But this is absolutely great stuff. Really good songs, well played. They're just having a great time, so I really like this. Really good record. Search it. Go and have a listen to it, because it's really good. I'll try and put another playlist together as well, but this is really good. I'm inching towards getting a complete set of Status Quo boogie records, not including their psychedelic stuff, from, when was it, 1970 to 1983, 4, whenever this one came out. This is going to be the most recent Quo album that I'm going to buy, because after this I'm just not interested anymore. So this has got some good songs on it, back to back. It's got some good stuff, and then it's got Margarita Time, which is just awful, and the reason why Alan Lancaster left the band. But I actually think there's some really good songs on here, like Messer Blues, Old Rag Blues, Stay the Night, Going Downtown Tonight. There's some really good boogie tunes, but then you've got Margarita Time, and it kind of blows it. That was the time. I think you can pinpoint that is the time when people suddenly thought status quo. They're a bit of a joke, really, aren't they now? And it was then. Up till then, I think even they were slowly going downhill. Their albums were not quite as good as the 70s stuff, but they were listenable and they released some good singles. But then you had this, and then it was In the Army Now, and then you had, it was just appalling. You had the Anniversary Waltz and all kinds of crap coming out. So, yeah, so I'm probably, that will be the most recent Quo album that I do buy. I think there's only one or two after this now. I've got other ones that I haven't shown yet, so I think there's only one more now that I don't have. Possibly. Oh, anyway, I'll as we go through what's going on with vinyl that I haven't shown yet, we'll sort that out. But yeah, good stuff on there, and some appalling stuff. And then finally, I picked up this, which is UFOs, the Wild, the Willing, and the Innocent. I have a really hard time sorting out what on earth is going on in that cover. It's really dark. It's designed by Hypnosis, but I think it's one of their worst covers. I just think it's not a good cover. But the record is really good. Good early 80s hard rock. This was the second album released by the band after Schenker left. So, and this is got Paul Chapman as lead guitarist. Pete Wade was still with the band. I really like their output in the early 80s, like No Place to Run. Is it No Place to Run? I think that's what it's called. Mechanics, and this one, so it's a trilogy of albums. I think they're pretty solid. Alright, they're not spectacular, but they're pretty solid albums. I really enjoy sticking them on. So there we go. I've got to get some 70s UFO though, especially Schenker. I've got to get some Schenker UFO at some point. But anyway, until that day happens, this is a good stopgap. So there we go. 7 records. I will try not to leave it so long till the next Wodge. In fact, you might get another one later this week, because the records have piled up as per usual. And what I've been doing lately is I've been doing a lot of walking, because lots of walking, and I've been listening to music on MP3 a lot. So I haven't been playing so much vinyl lately, but that's going to change again. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed perusing those records with me. Hope to see you all again soon. Cheers for now. Bye.